Hey folks, how you doing? Up in Grand Forks today, and coming to you live and direct via YouTube on the Common Sense Club for a show preview of what's to come on today's Open Phone Friday edition of the Common Sense Club. It's actually not that dark out, but for some reason it looks a little dark here. Where's the sun? I see a little bit of blue sky. Anyway, lots of things to talk about. NDSU's President Dean Brashani wants an 8.8% increase in tuition, or he says programs are going to be cut. Now, this is going to tick off some legislators because higher ed got a lot of what they wanted, and yet they're still talking about nearly a 9% increase in tuition. So we're going to ask who's right. Is Dean Brashani right to say they need more funding to be able to keep the level of programming right, or do they need to do like everybody else and just live within their means? We're going to ask that question today on the program. Welcome your input as well. Efforting guests, including President Brashani, as well as some legislative folks on NDSU's side of this argument, as well as the other side. And there'll be plenty on the other side that'll be upset. Trust me. We have some big-name guests on the program today. One of them is Ambassador John Bolton, and he's been very concerned about some of the things going on with the intel leaks. You know, why do we know that we got this big treasure trove of intel out of the Osama bin Laden raid? I don't think we ought to know that. We're going to talk to Ambassador Bolton about that, former U.S. ambassador to the UN. Also a little bit about the dynamics with Pakistan. Should we be giving them billions a year right now? Deb Burlingame will join us. She was at Ground Zero yesterday. Her brother Chippy, remember, was the pilot of Flight 77, American Airlines, that went into the Pentagon and was killed on 9/11. She's a regular guest of ours and one of the great, articulate, outspoken 9/11 family members. She confronted President Obama, had a meeting with him yesterday, and specifically said, terror trials in New York, KSM here, what were you thinking? He walked away from her. We'll hear the first-hand story of that. They'll both be on the program today on the Common Sense Club. Also, by the way, Don Rumsfeld Monday on those topics and more. The former Secretary of Defense will join us on the program, so that'll be Monday on the program. Last night, a GOP debate. Where was Newt? Where was Mitt Romney? Where was Sarah Palin and Michelle Bachmann? Is it too early for this debate over who best to replace President Obama? Some say yes. Tim Pawlenty, who was probably the star last night, maybe he and Rick Santorum, a close third, Herman Cain. Did you watch? We're going to talk a little bit about it. We're going to ask whether Tim Pawlenty's right to say too early. It might be too late for this debate to start. This is too important. We're going to talk about that today on the program and welcome your opinions on it and who you think ultimately won that debate, if in fact you watched it. We're going to talk to somebody. We like to celebrate the new media on Fridays. That's what we are, the new media. This is new media. The show is new media. The website is new media. All of our social media tools are the new media. And talk radio really was the first new media. So we celebrate it every Friday on the program. We're going to talk with somebody that now is working in the new media for a nonprofit watchdog group that's left the for-profit traditional media sense and compare the two. So we're going to do that on the program today. Of course, your comments on any of this welcome this instant at the Scott line. That's right. You can pick up the phone call 701-484-1889 and weigh in with your comments right this very moment. You can call us live during the show at 2 to 5. You can send me an email, scott@scotthennen.com. And thanks for coming to the scotthennen.com show preview for the Common Sense Club, and we'll see you in a bit.